Hi, Blake is back. I think I've said Blake is back or I'm back or any variation of that more times than I've said anything else in greeting, and that's because I'm always gone. And I'm sorry about that. I am now back home in the States, no longer in South Africa. I'm hoping that means I'll be able to regularly make videos now that I don't have to worry about internet failing and things like that. I also got my computer back, so making videos is going to be a million times easier and easier to do, which was actually a bit of a problem, was like getting a computer to make a video on. But whatever, excuses. I'm sorry that I've been gone for so long, but I'm back and I'm really hopefully this is for good this time. The topic this week is coming out. I don't know if I have like an actual coming out story because I think for the most part I'm kind of still in the process when it comes to at least my family. But I can tell you guys about, I came out to my mom as a lesbian 2 years ago. And that was an interesting experience. Basically, I decided that I was going to tell her after a semester of college. And I got home, winter break. It was around this time, maybe a little later than now. And I was basically my mom's like little lapdog for like the time that I was home. I would follow her around and like offer to do a lot of things for her just so I can like be there when it was the perfect time to tell her. It was so stupid. But I ended up telling my mom when she was in the kitchen, she was doing dishes after she had just put dinner in the oven. And she was washing a knife. And I remember thinking maybe this isn't the best time to do it, but she had just mentioned relationships. So I was like, all right, this may not be the best time to do it. She might stab me, but this is your entryway into this information disposal. So I was just like, well, Mom, I'm a lesbian. And she put the knife down slowly, which I find very interesting. Maybe she did want to stab me. Who knows? And she, for a second, tried to act like she didn't hear me. She was like, what did you say? And I was like, I am a lesbian. And she was like, are you sure? I mean, I don't want you to get upset with me, but are you sure? Have you slept with a woman? Have you slept with a man? Because you never know. And I told her no, I had not slept with a woman and I had not slept with a man. So there was no actual proof for her. And then she said, and then like she kind of just was quiet and it was kind of weird. And then she said, I went through that phase too when I thought that I was a lesbian because there was never a man that I found attractive, so I assumed that I was a lesbian. And I was like, no, I think I'm actually a lesbian. And that's where the conversation ended. And then she tried to reapproach the topic a few days later when we were on our way to a cafe for coffee. And she didn't approach it in a way that I was comfortable with. She again went back to are you sure? I experienced this too. Maybe it'll go away. You can't really say these things until such and such time and until you try this or that. And I got really annoyed with her, so I told her I didn't want to talk about it anymore. And that was the first and only time I spoke to any of my family members about anything queer, really, when I was a first year in college. My mom had also told me to not tell my sister or my father. She said that I shouldn't tell them until I was sure. And even though I knew I was sure, since she told me not to, I just listened to her. We can fast forward to this whole gender thing that's happening right now. Presently in my family, my sister has been the only one that I have even tried to explain my gender identity to. And I'm not too sure exactly why that is, but I think the first thing I can think of is I'm most comfortable with her, and I'm less afraid of how she'll react. There's a much smaller chance that my sister will reject me than there is of my mother rejecting me. My mom tried to approach the topic to me when I got back from Africa, the day I got back from Africa. And it didn't work out very well because she again said things that made me upset, uncomfortable, that I got offended about, and I kind of lost my cool really quickly, which isn't the best way to approach a situation like this. I've heard many times, and I understand where people have said things like, it's taken you years to accept your identity and be ready enough to tell someone about it. It's going to take your parents a little more time than a few hours to get used to something like this. And it's something that I've been trying to continue to tell myself over and over again, but I've definitely been struggling with it because the transphobic and homophobic things that my mom says kind of make me really defensive. And then the conversation just ends because I get rude and she doesn't appreciate it, etc. I've kind of left my dad out of the picture, and that's because although he and my mom are still married, he still lives with us. I've grown up with him. We just kind of don't have much of a relationship, and that goes into a lot of things growing up, and he worked a lot when I was growing up, and there were a lot of things we didn't agree on that he did or that I did, and our relationship now just isn't as full, I guess, as it could be. We don't really have conversations of substance. We just talk about the day-to-day type stuff. I've never had the opportunity to discuss my orientations to him, and I've never really had, or if I have had the opportunity, I wasn't comfortable enough to talk to him about it. My father is in the mental health area, he works in mental health, so I feel like if anyone would understand my gender variance, it would be him, but again, I just don't feel comfortable really talking to him. I do things kind of passively a lot of the times. When I came out to my friends and my team, it was all through writing. I never actually said it aloud. I remember when I came out to one of my best friends, Erica, I gave her the URL to my Tumblr blog and told her to read it. That's how I came out to her. When I came out to my team, I sent everyone an email, and I didn't even give myself a label. I just asked them to use male pronouns and to call me Blake. I don't think I've ever actually said anything aloud. Oh wait, that's not true. I did say it aloud to a couple of my friends that I made in my first year, and that's been okay. So basically that was coming out for me. It's kind of sad, maybe not sad, but it's kind of weird that I don't have a story. I feel like a lot of people who are as out as I am have a coming out story, but I don't. I think I mentioned it in a video before that I am just out as opposed to I had come out. I just kind of started being me without telling people what was going on, and I think I would advise against the route that I chose to take because people in our society today still rely greatly on labels, and they really want to make sure, and a lot of people want to make sure that they have the right ones when it comes to people they love. It's something that my sister pointed out to me. She said that she wished that I came out as genderqueer from the beginning as opposed to making her think I was a lesbian and then making her think I was FTM, then making her think that I was this or that. She said she wished so much more that I just explained it to her from the get-go. And I think that that's a very crucial point, and I would suggest that anyone not do what I did and let people try to put the pieces together themselves, because 1, it might take them forever, 2, they might get the wrong idea, and 3, they might just assume that you don't want them to know and then treat you in the way that they have always treated you as opposed to the way that you hope they would treat you. I think that's all I have to say. I hope everything has come together well. I am sorry that I've been gone. I don't know how many people actually watch these videos anymore, but if anyone at all is curious on my opinion on any of the topics that I missed this past month and a half, just post it below and I'll make a video for you. I love talking, so I would definitely not mind. And I also have a very long winter break because my semester in Africa ended early than the semester here. That's all I have. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I hope you have a great rest of the week. Bye.